Kunal Vijayakar, esteemed chef, not chef, but sort of chef.
No.
You call yourself a chef?
No, chef. No, please. People who've not gone to chefing school can't call themselves
Chefing? You chef off?
chef. You think they know my name? Cyrus Brocha. Kunal Vijayakar. They don't. Say ye mota or ye patla.
Rapist, arsonist. Something like that. Anyway, those days are gone.
He's ignored the patlas.
No, I got it. I'm happy with all these labels.
Don't create new controversies.
Alzheimer's, Baba. Alzheimer's भी एक चीज है भाई.
It was days before the GPS. I did have mobile phones.
Like
I
a
could
food
actually
GPS.
say, okay, go under the Goregaon flyover. There is a mutton biryani fellow there.
Yeah.
You take a right turn from there and keep going till you see this vada pav fellow who's called saying you can take a left.
This is not a myth, huh? It's true.
Could do it.
Your show's called खाने में क्या है? It's all about what people eat.
Yeah.
And everything is our business. Why are you showing it?
No.
Why are you fucking showing it?
But I'm showing you what
Why are you
people eat.
showing it, Kunal Vijayakar?
Cyrus, this is not an argument.
हिम्मत कहाँ से आता है? It's a private thing. If it's
What
a private
is the
thing,
point
don't take your
he's
camera
making?
into the face of someone eating. Leave us alone. Go do something else with your life. Okay, welcome to Cyrus Says, and a brand new studio. For me, others have been using it, but old people are given no respect. As you know the whole story, those who follow the show. For those who don't follow the show and watching this in 2037, एक दिन लगभग 1999 में there was a fire in the studio on the 4th floor, and to cut a long story short, 7 people were not seen again. And it took us months to put it together, but this is the new place, and we are very happy to be here. It's much bigger. We had to remove 5 people from sales, but they were not meeting targets, so out. And we're happy. We're all happy. This is good. And to begin the show, to actually start the show, we have for the first time on this in this new studio one of the greatest Indian men since Chandragupta Maurya the first, the one and only Kunal Vijayakar, also known as Bubbly.
Hello, Cyrus.
One second, I've not asked you to talk.
Not yet.
It's not starting.
I thought a longer introduction.
I do about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Then the guest gets a couple of minutes. That's how we do the show, yeah. By now you should know all this.
I'm used to it.
Yeah. Thank you for dressing so elegantly in choppers and coming here. Before we start, I just want to explain the show pattern here because you've come many times. People say, why is he back? And I'll explain. One reason is your new show with us.
Correct.
Which we'll talk to about first. Second thing is your old show, your food show, which has got a few controversies. We thought you should be allowed to explain. Okay. Otherwise, you've never been allowed to speak. People, say things and all that. And what about Kunal's point of view? And the third is Abbas is supposed to join us, but he's had a stomach upset. Or his stomach got caught in the door, I don't know. But either way, he's not reached. And that third part will involve AMAs and fake questions from people we meet outside and get them to write into you. So that's how we divide the show.
Fantastic, Cyrus. Fantastic.
Okay, now if there's anything else you want to say.
Yeah, and the third question is that who ditched
No,
today?
there's no third. There's a fourth question.
But who
Do the
ditched
maths. I've
today?
said 3, so then 3 plus 1 is 4. I can't handle this. Who ditched today? No one ditched today. Today you are being celebrated
Really?
as IVM's new host.
Don't believe this.
And
Don't
everyone who's
believe
worked
this.
with you has said the same thing to me. We prefer working with Kunal than you. Which means they're being patronizing. They know that
Which
working
means
with me
they
is...
worked only one episode with me.
Yeah, exactly. And working with me is a breeze. They'll find out very soon compared to you. I only have one thing, I run away. You, on the other hand, will have some demands. And of course, now Abbas has walked in after we start the show. So even though the
Abbas.
studio is new, the professionalism is equally bad as it was before. Abbas, please come. It's okay. Our show is very informal. You know that by now. Hence, you're still on it. Abbas, his new name is Shabash because he does so well.
Yeah.
We are celebrating Kunal's greatness today. Just
It's
in case.
coming in the way, a little bit over here.
You may or may not see Rishi entering the frame here now and just helping Abbas. Rishi is, of course, an engineer by profession who has given up everything to look after all parts of this studio. So he deserves a show on his own. We should actually do a guest episode with Rishi. But before that,
Can
we
I
have
get
to
a
do
pair of headphones, or are we like too poor for
no,
that?
we'll have to do a guest episode with
apparently I
Rishi.
do have
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
All you have to do is look. I mean, really, Abbas. Not that different. Disgusting, the professionalism. So if you're watching for the first time, you must be wondering, is this a show on health? Well, you are right. But let's start at the beginning. I was just saying, and I'm sure you know more about this, because Abbas is the writer on the new show, which is called Mera Baap Ka Zameen. Kunal is going to tell us all about it. Kunal will keep drinking water so he can think. That's his way of escaping for his thought, because he's forgotten the name of the show, for sure. But Abbas, you have it, or
It's called-
please don't cough in my mic. Okay, show some level of professionalism. People
show-
are watching
the show-
this.
I remember
Suddenly
the
they'll wake
show.
up. You cannot cough in the mic. How, Abbas, will you say something to the old man?
Well, he's my senior. He's had way more experience in broadcast than me.
Just like how the Prime Minister is your senior, so you never call him out either. I accept it. I
But
understand.
his best friend shares a name with me, so I feel there's a bit of a camaraderie there.
Kiska best friend, beta?
Yeah, you don't know this?
Nahi.
Prime Minister's childhood friend was called Abbas.
No, that's a motor vehicle. He was walking in Ahmedabad and a bus passed. What are you saying, bro? This is all over the
Anyway,
place.
back to the show.
Back to the show.
Yeah.
No, so what's the name of the show?
So the show is called A Century of Stories.
A Century of Stories. Huh.
And I do it in my clipped British accent.
Well, I didn't expect too much just to change there. But let's be honest, it's all your hard work, right? Because it's written by Abbas, it's researched by Sparsh, it's produced by Rishi and gang. So your contribution is, you're there.
I read the teleprompter.
You read it's a teleprompter?
Yeah.
He used a teleprompter.
That show has budget.
No, one second. His contribution is reading of a teleprompter. You could get a monkey basically. You could call a bandar, you could put the bandar here, you could train him to say a few words and that's it.
He adds his own touch also, right?
I'd love to know what. I'm never going to watch this show. But what does he do?
Exactly what he
He's
said.
become so
Why are you
lazy.
looking at me and asking
Why has
this
he become
question?
so lazy? Let him now write the next episode.
I should also
and
mention
research
I'm
it.
not the only writer on the show.
Who
There's
cares
like
about
a
the rest?
writer's
Are they here?
room.
Are the writers
No, they're
here?
not.
And F them. Yeah. Achha, by the way, who are the other writers?
So there's an in-house team. There's Nivedita.
Beep.
There's me.
Beep.
There's Meghnad.
Beep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Meghnad,
Yeah.
Niv,
Yeah.
and you.
Yeah.
Okay, just to be
It's an
clear.
extremely well-researched show.
Yeah.
So you need a bank of writers.
So he's a comedian, Niv is a comedian, Meghnad is not supposed to be a comedian, but he's a wannabe comedian. So it can be really painful. So what, do you even know before you come, do you discuss with them?
Of course, we read the script, we discuss it, we edit it
Does he really?
about 5 minutes before we record it.
Okay. Last minute when you come there, if you're early, they give you something to do. So uncle doesn't get
the
angry.
words don't run off my tongue.
Is it in English or is it in English? Is it Hindi English mix? Is it German?
English.
So you're very comfortable.
Yeah, I'm comfortable in English.
Achha, so what is the first episode which releases, I think, we won't say when, but just what is the first episode?
I'm not sure. We've shot 2, so I don't know which one's
Okay,
going
no,
It's on the national anthem.
On the
How
national
Indian
anthem.
National
Yeah.
came to
But he knows all 3 verses. Most
really?
people only know one.
Yeah. The popular one.
Yeah. Well, the one that they treat, I won't say force you because they don't say you have to, but mostly people by choice do learn the first verse.
Yeah.
And so the second and third verse people don't really know. And it's a bit challenging. I don't know.
I don't know it by heart, the second and third verse. We up to
You didn't
Jaya
have to.
Hey.
You didn't have to call my bluff. No, nobody's going to ask you to sing it here.
No, you were about to ask me to sing
No,
it.
I'm not going to ask you to sing
I
it.
realized
No.
it. So I just...
We've got all this against the Constitution of India thing that goes on. And you can't just get up and sing the national anthem because someone tells you to.
Of course you can.
No. there's
As long as I stand up, I can sing it anytime I want.
Anywhere, anytime.
Of course.
Like if you're in suppose you want to go to pee, for example, it's not the right place. No, you can't just go anywhere.
I cannot discuss this.
No, I'm telling you, don't.
I
Be very
cannot
careful.
discuss this.
Be very careful.
It can't have so many controversies.
No,
around
we'll come to that. No, tell us about this. Shall I ask Abbas because you were just reading our teleprompter?
Ask him.
But he's the face of the
But
show.
me may not have been paying attention, no?
Sure, what do you want to
It's like when you go to the I thing, no? And you go B, C, D. You don't remember it when you go back out. So what do? Somebody wrote it, somebody put it up, somebody lit it, and then you
So
fuck
the
off.
national anthem script was actually not written by me, so I'll only be
No,
able
the
to
national
give
anthem
you-
was written by somebody else.
But I
Not
can
that-
remember the I thing. Clearly. Shall I read it?
That should be your second
Can you?
episode.
P, C, D, E, F.
You learned it by heart.
Yeah, of course.
Lots of people learn it by heart just so that they can fool the thing. I don't know what the point of that is. Anyway, so Abbas, since you're the learned guy, what is the background about the whole national anthem song?
So I didn't write that particular story, so I only know so much. But
Why are
it
you
came
here?
from it came from a poetry that.
But why are you here then?
To be the representative of the writers' union.
Okay, let's understand. Meghnad lives in Delhi. We couldn't fly him down for this episode.
Exactly.
And even though he...
I don't think you can fly him down for anything. I don't
No, we
think
can
you
fly him down.
budget
But
at all.
we pay that under 12 rate no? For kids. But Niv has not turned up. She wrote it? She's involved?
No, this particular
It sounds Meghnad.
was written by Saurabh, another one of our
Oh, so now we have a
producers.
fourth writer we didn't even mention. Okay, Saurabh is the guy with very high personality, no?
Yeah,
He's
Saurabh.
always
Sharma.
screaming and shouting and very
No,
animated.
he's very, very soft.
It's called humor. It's just wasted.
They've never seen Saurabh, no? So they'll actually think that
Nobody
he's
listens to
actually-
what I'm saying. I'm just the buffer. Then you all talk. Okay.
I wrote the script for the '83 World Cup.
Let me, without checking with
Which
Sparsh,
I'm an expert at.
let me just check with Sparsh whether we should go there. Can we talk about it? Okay, we can talk about it. So we are moving. The first episode, as far as I know, will be on the national anthem. We don't have enough information about it because the one person who should talk about it is not able to
I'm
tell
about
us.
to talk, but you
please,
don't let me talk about it.
Please.
The national anthem written by Rabindranath Tagore.
Okay, what else?
What else? That's it. He wrote a beautiful poem.
I mean, your contribution, your legacy will be remembered. I mean, what you've given us already is too much. I feel you should stop talking.
The
and
poem
just
that
take a break.
it's based on was called Bharat Bhagya Vidhata, which is a line which is in
Bharat
the...
Bhagya Vidhata.
Yeah. So everything else came around it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's now a good nugget of information that you've given. Unlike the joker tells me who wrote it, which is in your civic textbook from the age of 3.5.
Yeah.
Where do you get this guy from?
But the information is from my civics textbook.
That same one, St. Mary's. Okay. Then we come to the 83 World Cup where Abbas.
At some point.
Okay, so now listen, wait. I have to say this.
Yeah, please.
83 World Cup episode, I haven't recorded yet. I'm still researching it.
Okay.
So once it gets researched, you can ask me questions about it. At the moment,
In your mind, 83 World Cup hasn't happened. You're waiting for it to happen. I understand. I totally understand. But I spoke to Spurs, who, poor chap, is the one passionate guy about this show and the client, of course. And he was talking about interesting things like the birth of Jamshedpur. So give us ideas of stories. But that would be. I'd like to listen to a story about how Jamshedpur was formed.
We've recorded an interesting episode about the what is that code called that you UPI.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like when you go to geriatric ward and the uncle doesn't remember, aap kaun hai? It's one of those moments here.
UPI. Did you know how the UPI? Do you know how to use GPay but you don't pay anybody?
They're all
There
laughing.
you go.
They're all pro Vijayakar here. He's not going to give you much humor, but when he does, he'll get a lot of support. He's like Maninder Singh batting. He makes fall, so people go mad. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's on the UPI. It's about how digital payments are made. It's a very fascinating story, and it's very indigenous. So
As in to us.
Yeah.
So we are the creators of this.
In a way.
And we should be thankful to the government of India that we have to do this.
Nandan Nilekani and
The government of India.
The government of
Or
India.
government of Karnataka.
No, I don't think it's
We have started there. We're not 100% sure. I don't want to label people. Yeah. So other stories? Like I mentioned.
There's one very interesting story. Again, it's yet to be recorded, which is about the so Orissa and West Bengal went to court over the Rasgulla.
Yeah, he's done that in his show.
But so it's going to be a part of this as
So
well.
let him research that. Because he knows about that.
No, I've researched it. I've eaten both.
You also
right
gave-
across
you
the
also
border.
gave a
I've
decision.
eaten here and there.
But you gave a decision also.
Well,
You gave it to Orissa, no?
Orissa.
He gave it to Orissa.
But Orissa
Odisha.
and West Bengal, they both actually got the ownership of it. It's just that the Orissa Rasgulla is known by a slightly different name.
See,
It's
between you and
slightly
me,
browner.
between Patnaik and Mamtaji's governments are not BJP governments.
Yeah.
So nobody cares at the center. Okay? When the
Patnaik
center cares,
government
we will
is-
get a decision. Till then, they don't care.
But Patnaik government is an ally of the
Not
central
really.
government.
Not really. Patnaik does his own thing. He plays hockey. You follow. And Rahul
Well,
Bose Stadium is
that's
now one of the most
not what I
important
heard he
landmarks.
plays.
When you go to Bhubaneswar, you ask for Rahul Bose Stadium. And Rahul Bose himself will show you.
Well, there are stadiums in Gujarat that people can show you also.
Oh, you better watch it. Me and Abbas being minorities, but you Hindus, you better watch it who you pick on, huh? Right, Abbas?
No comment.
Not saying anything.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the rasmalai,
The rasgulla.
rasgulla, and laddu, and anything neutral.
Yeah.
Okay, let's before we move on to another interesting thing, and of course look forward to this show. Is there one story that each one of you really liked, if it comes to your head so far, when you've gone through the different scripts that you are still to, of course, shoot, but topic-wise?
I think the Rasgulla one was the most favorite.
Did you know about the controversy?
I did, but the more you go into it, the more you go down a rabbit
It's
hole.
amazing how such a small thing can actually
Exactly,
unite
yeah,
and
yeah,
divide
yeah.
societies to such an emotional extent. Okay, so that's the show. Show's name is 100.
A century
You don't
of
remember.
stories.
A century of stories.
A century of
fair enough.
stories.
Abbas will tell us. It releases very soon. I won't give you a date because of studio issues and government interference. We may or may not release on a certain date. But it's coming very fast. It's almost like the new
There's
train.
no government interference. That was just a joke.
No,
Just
like the Vande
wanted to put it
Bharat.
out
It's
there.
it's going to have a great impact.
So say that, no.
Yeah. The Vande Bharat. Yeah.
Good.
You know the Indian Express hangs on to every word we say on this show. So they'll take that one clip and be like,
But they actually
Cyrus delays
they're not
show
they're
because of
actually
government
pro us.
interference.
They're not anti us.
Absolutely. I'm not saying they're
So
anti
be nice. when we are big enough for someone to be anti us, then we can talk. Till then, we just do what we are told. Okay, as we look around the room of bored people, we move on to now the controversies. Kunal also, you don't know this, Abbas. Kunal has a food show called Khane Mein Kya Hai.
Of course I know.
Which has got lots of viewership and followership. He's also got lots of fancy names to come on. But in the last year,
Fancy names to come on, meaning?
you got some big names to come on the show.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
giving you that.
Right.
Why do what? अंग्रेजी नहीं आते आपको? अंग्रेजी आते हैं नहीं? हिंदी में बात करें अभी. So he's got lots of famous people to come on, and because of that, it's riddled with. It's not fair to say riddled with, but there have been a few controversies. There have been 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And every time it happens, Kunal bashfully calls me up and tells me, this happened, and other people tell us. But to be frank, he's not really been involved, but the controversy happened.
Yeah.
Like it's not his fault it happened.
Right.
So we'll go one by one and let him talk about it. Let's start with the Sudha Murthyji's thing,
interview,
which is about the non-veg
vegetarianism
thing. If you can just tell us what went
I
wrong.
think we were just having a conversation, and I asked her, so how's the food at 10 Downing Street?
Oh, 10 Downing
So
Street.
she said, I eat at my son's house because I'm purely vegetarian. And then she went into...
She didn't know that 10 Downing Street is his house also.
The son's house, not son-in-law's house.
Oh, the son's house. Acha. That's a bit mean, huh?
No, because I have a feeling that because the son's house is probably purely vegetarian, and she was very sort of I don't eat in non-veg restaurants because I'm a pure vegetarian.
That's what she was trying to imply.
And she said, so even if the food is cooked in utensil, a lot of people are like that. It's not only Sudha Murthy. You know enough people who don't want to touch veg and non.
I don't eat from veg utensils, for example.
But see, this is what I'm saying. So
Abbas,
if he's allowed to do that,
I don't.
I know.
I say only
very
veg food cooked in, I can't. And immediately cut your finger and serve the food. Sorry, go on.
so that became into a controversy against this whole.
That she's austere.
No,
dividing the
purity,
communities.
this whole purity was
There's a Brahmanical touch to it and all that. But
It's a bit woke, the whole.
But I heard the real reason she eats at the son's house is because it's closer to the station and they want to save money. So they just go straight there, all the way to 10 Downing Street, this is far away.
You think she traveled by train?
Yeah.
No, but now...
Do you know that he's supposed to travel economy class?
No, but that's the myth. I don't know how they really traveled.
By train or economy class?
They used to say that, what's his name? Azim Premji.
Azim Premji is the other one. Wipro.
Yeah, who also traveled.
I thought for a minute, Sudha Murthy, Azim Premji, the old man, something about muddled information.
New controversies.
Alzheimer's, Baba. Alzheimer's भी एक चीज है भाई.
He's also traveling economy class and all that.
They say, Narayan Murthy and Azim Premji. We don't know for sure.
We don't know for sure.
Yeah, we can't say. If anybody knows for sure,
it's
Azim
nice.
and Narayan ji, if you can answer the question and come on the podcast,
No,
just to answer this one
you
question.
You can see, basically, Sudha Murthy and Narayan Murthy, their habits seem to be austere.
Yeah.
They're not flashy and showy. And they lead within what their wealth is a simple life.
Yeah.
So it's not...
So for a lot of people, that is also a
That
thing.
has become a problem.
Yeah.
She overdoes
it is reverse snobbery, what they call. Now, when
Yeah.
you live well beyond your means, but your driver's upset because he's forced to drive a Maruti, when, he can easily get, like a aeroplane.
Yeah.
Bentley.
Or Bentley. They can fly up and down. They have enough money.
You let your driver fly a plane if you want one?
I don't have a driver. My wife's name is Aisha. She drives me. Don't call it driver.
He has a driver, okay?
Up to now, she's still my wife. Dekhiga 2 saal ke baad.
He's very thin and ill-treated, but he has a driver.
That's my son Mikhail, and he's a lovely boy. He's getting stronger every day.
But I have to ask, whenever a controversy like this happens, that episode must get like a shitload of views, right?
It does. Yeah, I know. It gets a shitload of views. The numbers go up. So in a way, it helps the show. Controversies.
So you do it purposely then?
No, but I'm so petrified of the world we live in that I just tend not to comment.
But anyway, she wasn't trying, according
involved.
to him, I haven't seen the episode.
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't trying to be divisive. I think the problem is that...
Not at all, Baba. It's just
it's
the
just
world of
very
social
sweet.
media. Yeah.
I've seen her...
Also, it's just that in the last year or so, Sudha Murthy has made a point to...
she's been a little controversial.
To say how austere her living style
comments about Kareena
So a lot of
Kapoor.
people have been making jokes about that also. So it just adds to
But
that.
at the end of the day, we make too much about what we eat and all that.
Yeah.
What we eat is our business. It's nobody else's business, honestly. And it is her business what she wants to eat. It's her choice.
How can this guy, what a hypocrite. Your show's called Khane Mein Kya Hai? It's all about what people eat.
Yeah.
And now you're saying it's our business. Why are you showing it?
No.
Why are you fucking showing it?
But I'm showing you what
Why are you
people
showing
eat.
it, Kunal Vijayakar?
Cyrus, this is not an argument.
हिम्मत कहाँ से आता है? It's a private thing. If it's
What
a private
is the
thing,
point
don't take your
he's
camera
making?
into the face of someone eating. Leave us alone. Go do something else with your life.
No. What I meant,
Sparsh.
considering you
What's
do
up?
not...
He's not forcing anybody to eat any food on
I'm
his
saying
show.
this is what you eat. I'll come and shoot it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that I will not eat this, so you don't do this. Rubbish. You can't eat this. I can't eat this. What rubbish? You eat what you want to
did
eat.
say I will not eat in his house because they don't.
In
have
your
it.
episode, you went to 3 bars in Breach Candy.
No, my
and that was it.
I'm not the one who wanted to do that episode. That episode, why we went to 3 bars and lied about our entire route is because Lazy 1 and Lazy 2 didn't want to go outside South Bombay area. And that too, that's
No, but there was nothing lying. We didn't lie. It was true. That was exactly where we
also
went.
go to Kalpana, where Aisha's working.
Yeah, but Kalpana didn't allow us to shoot.
We did. Did you try?
We tried.
Why would Kalpana say no?
Because they didn't know who the hell were these 2 people.
They won't remember us.
Unless we showed our face. You think they know us by name? Cyrus Brocha,
that's
Kunal Vijayakar. They don't. They ye mota or ye patla.
Rapist, arsonist. Something like that. Anyway, those days are gone.
He's ignored the patlas.
No, I got it. I got it. I'm happy with all these labels.
Yeah.
Now, so that's one. How much time do we have? So let's quickly get to the other. Then the second one is this Ranbir Kapoor beef thing. I think that was the first one.
But look, Ranbir Kapoor...
Just tell us what happened quickly.
I'll tell you very simply. Ranbir Kapoor's interview was over 11 or 12 years ago.
Okay.
I had done it when I was doing the foodie.
With Arnab Goswami, your mentor.
On the channel.
The one who made you, discovered you, and then who you turned your back on.
Honestly, I didn't turn my back on anybody. We
The
just
nation
moved
wants to
apart.
know why.
Nation, no. Only you want to know why.
That man made him. He made Kunal. Kunal was nothing.
No, but I agree with you. He did.
Arnab put him in his hand and created him. And then
Not like this. This was not the exact action.
Okay, sorry, right hand.
Yeah.
God. Sorry, go on.
So,
Abbas doesn't know how to masturbate, so he's not picked up.
Some would say that's the only thing I know, but let's not go there.
Rishi?
like this. Yeah, so they picked up this line. So obviously there are enough people on social media who have nothing better to do. So they picked up
This
that
is very
line.
American, right? Where Kevin Hart's one old thing comes 10 years later and all that and cancel the guy.
And this was before the whole beef ban and whatever else. I mean, I don't know what the legal...
So what did he say? He just said, I like to eat beef.
Yeah, so we were eating juicy, bloody big burgers like this at...
Some place.
Hard Rock Cafe. And which is no longer there. And they picked
Because
up
of the
this one
controversy.
random statement of his and they put it.
But did you get abused also, no?
I got a little abused, but I met him at a restaurant after that. He says,
You were serving.
Boss, but this is not a big controversy happened. The poor fellow had an FIR filed against him and all.
So he complained to you?
Yeah. He'll never again come on my show. I'll never be able to get him.
No, he'll come with Sudha Murthy and discuss vegetarian food. That's it. There's always a way out. Okay, but there are a couple more controversies. Let me, before my brain fades completely. One is then you had Rahul on. Rahul, the controversy was just having him on, right?
There was no controversy with Rahul at all.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no.
No, but then they think you're left wing and leaning towards opposition, that kind of thing. Did you get any trolling?
Actually not.
No?
We didn't get any trolling for Rahul Gandhi at all.
Okay. All right. There's one more controversy. I can't remember, but if...
I'll tell you, no?
Huh? Yeah. Who?
Smriti Irani is gone.
Smriti Irani. I forgot Smriti Irani.
Yeah.
That, how did that... that again was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, again, I don't know. I don't know how it happened. I just know that
Something
they
about her
started
owning a
using-
liquor license.
So I think Smriti Irani made some statement about not being involved in the restaurant, but I
Because it had a liquor license, the
Yeah.
opposition targeted her.
Yeah.
And then she said she's not involved in it, but they're just
Correct.
you had just done a show.
And they started using mic clips as
yeah.
you know, the whole thing. It's more news channels doing it than
No, that's
anybody
true. They
actually-
created a
It's
controversy.
the
the
news
thing
channels,
is when-
social media doing it more than anybody.
When they
else.
use the clips from Kunal's show, they completely edit out Kunal's parts, right? They only keep the
No, but the
guests.
name of the show is still there. So
In
then
some
people,
places, yeah.
so people want to target him, and he's very nervous.
Yeah,
na?
yeah.
He wore a mask during pandemic and all. He's one of those. So what happens
So
is he
did
was very
I.
scared. So he used to come to my house and hide. He'd wear a mustache and long hair and
He never let me
disguise.
come to his house.
He'd pretend to be a jamadar, this fat guy with a mop, who can't bend. But all these things,
It
have to-
astounds me that Kunal's show creates more controversy than this show, whereas I
Our
think
show's in English, no? So luckily, as long as you speak in English, nobody cares.
And you seriously think my show is in Hindi? The Hindi that I speak?
No, your show is your show is a mix, but your Hindi is improved a lot. There's nothing wrong with your Hindi. It's your delivery style which irritates us, but people love. Which is that I don't know why you have that, and now it's too late to change. So can you give us a taste of it? अगर हम हिंदी में बात करते
मैं
हैं तो
पूरा
आप
एपिसोड हिंदी में कर सकता हूँ.
नहीं, but
There you
वो
go, Cyrus.
टॉप डाउन स्टाइल में
तो वह आपके साथ बात करते हुए टॉक डाउन ही होता है.
two jokes in the first half, ladies and gentlemen. That's as much as we can get. Yeah. All right. So that's the controversy. Any interesting episodes coming up that we have to mention?
Interesting episode of this particular episode that went on this week is very interesting because in RA colony there are tribals and Adivasis who are indigenous to that area. They were there before the deforestation happened, and their food, which they still forage from there. So everything comes from there. Forage.
As in they find?
Forage.
Find?
Yeah, they forage for vegetables and for fish. They grow with
They grow fish?
No, they grow vegetables.
Oh, okay.
And the Wali community. So it's a very interesting episode that we've done, which will come up.
All right.
Then,
So I have questions about the choice of places and you want to go.
Like, is it
So,
negative?
No, I want to know.
Get negative questions.
So do you like check out the food beforehand before going to the place? Okay.
try to
And
as far as possible.
only if it like
Okay, so this is why all the food that you show, you say nice things about it. But then why would I take you to a dirty place and say, now I'm going to take you to a very bad restaurant today and then I'm going to show you how bad the food is and say, yeah. And I don't like saying bad things about people.
fair enough.
Yeah, I also don't think that is that necessary sometimes. If you don't like the place, then why talk about it?
Absolutely.
That's a whole different style of show.
Absolutely right.
Right.
Because then you should just be talking about things you hate. That's why we have our show. It's all about things we hate. But also, he's got a great memory for food. No? I've mentioned this before 200 times, so I apologize for people who have to hear it again. But even from the first time we were friends back in 1966, when England won the World Cup, controversially in the final, Rishi will tell you all about it. He would tell... 66.
Okay.
Because Hey Jude came out.
I was like Sri Lanka won in 96.
Yeah, very good. Not bad, Abbas. Abash. Not bad. So he would tell us places. I mentioned this. But, see, before the mobile phone and all, if you're trying to get to somewhere, these cheap studios where the cheap actors and artists go to, it's always like, so Kunal, how do I find it? Everything he would tell you via food. Literally, especially deep in Film City, it would be like this vada pav guy. You remember him? Not so good, no? But you go straight, and then there's a samosa guy. Are fantastic! Small samosas. You know how Maharashtrians say words twice, no? Small samosas. And big.
It translates literally from lahan. Lahan, mote.
Vegra.
You know what rhymes with that?
Vegra.
No? So
What rhymes with?
So coming back. I'm going to think about it. So he had that gift. So now we joke about it, but he has a photographic memory for the foods, and it's not to do with the ambience. So he may like a samosa guy, he may hate a fancy Chinese guy, but in that whole thing, he'll give you these 7 food eateries and show you how to get there.
It was days before the GPS and days before mobile phones.
Like
I
a
could
food
actually
GPS.
say, okay, go under the Goregaon flyover. There is a mutton biryani fellow there. You take a right turn from there and keep going till you see this vada pav fellow who's called saying, you can take a left.
This is not a myth, huh? This is true.
Could do it.
He does it only with that. I don't know anyone else who can do that. Just with that.
But
Because
I don't think I can do it now because this GPS and the mobile phone has changed life.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, I'm talking like an old man. Because
You are an old
for
man.
example, we were in Film City shooting yesterday, and this whole young bunch
You were
of
shooting
production
some famous
people-
show, no?
Yeah,
You can't mention it. It rhymes with TikToks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
You're talking about being on a famous show.
It rhymes with Blink Vlogs. Then,
There's all the young production people.
good hot girls.
But only-
Controversy number 17. You said hot girls.
No, I never said anything.
You said hot girls.
I was
60
telling
years
you
old.
How that when you wanted to say Cyrus is shooting at Film City and we want to plan the evening,
Yeah.
I would have to call the office at Film City at the gate, leave a message, send somebody to go to the studio. If he was shooting with a slightly wealthy production company, then they would pay to put an extension on the floor.
Set, yeah.
Otherwise, there was no way to contact people, and it didn't matter. We still managed to make connections and make plans. You know? So I'm suddenly feeling really old. Man.
It's been thrilling. I fell asleep, but it's been thrilling most of the conversation so far. I think we have to take a break, as far as I can tell from Sparsh, our long-haired producer, who looks a bit like Hannah Mandlikova. Please Google her. Famous tennis player.
I know
from the
Hannah
90s.
Montana.
No, he doesn't look like her. She's attractive. Hannah Mandlikova, on the other hand, let's just say played tennis.
How do you
thank
spell
God.
that?
No, don't ask me to spell it, bro. It's a tough. Hannah, I can H-A-N-E. There's no H.
And what's the last name?
Mandlikova. Mandlikova.
We'll find out after the
won a couple of
break
Grand
what
Slams.
shows up on
Looks
Google.
exactly like Sparsh. If Sparsh wore a white skirt and a little
Little
headband,
goatee also she had.
his goatee is hardly visible.
Nah, Baba.
So hers also on her fair skin. Little
Show me
Hannah looks way better.
Yeah? Okay. We'll ask Rishi to blow up the picture at the end of the show.
And she's
show it.
blonde.
Yeah. So was Sparsh. The water in Mumbai destroyed his beautiful looks. Many people thought he looked like Tom Alter when he first came here. Okay, we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back. Kunal Vijayakar, esteemed chef, not chef, but sort of chef.
No,
You call yourself a chef?
No, chef. No, please. People who've not gone to chefing school can't call themselves
Chefing? You chef off? We'll be back after this break.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam Gupta hosts Sameer Yogeshwar, non-executive director of HDFC International Life and Re Co. Limited. They delve into the world of finance and explore exclusive insights on products tailored for NRIs and global Indians. On the Habit Coach podcast, Ashton talks with Chinmay Prabhu, a Guinness World Records holder on speed cubing. They spoke about his journey, his love for this sport, and his future plans. And on the Musafir Stories, Saif talks to lawyer and hobbyist blogger Juhi Gupta. If you plan to visit Meghalaya anytime soon, this episode will help you set the perfect itinerary. So folks, if you like our shows, spread the word. Tell your friends and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media via IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. You'll also find all our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsor this week, SBI Life. Thank you for making this possible.
Okay, we're back, but people are demanding pani in the middle of the show.
And my coffee never came.
Your coffee. Welcome to IVM 5. You only shot one episode. 1,300. Still waiting for coffee? Okay. You'll have to wait for 2 minutes.
No, he'll bring it, but let you continue.
Now, because of you, they're going to waste my time. This is your time being wasted, not my time. Oh, Sparsh is saying hi.
Hi.
Hannah Mandlikova.
But it's an informal show, right?
But did you see? IVM podcast just yesterday was bought over by Harshad. It's on his shirt. I don't know if you saw that shirt.
By who?
Some group called Harshad. Now we are owned
Mehta?
by Harshad. There's no surname must be in front then. In the back of the pullover is written Harshad. IVM podcast Harshad. So that's the new owner. I just want to pay
We had
respects.
someone called Harshad who used to work here, right?
Yeah. And now he bought it.
Still employed?
On his way
Still
out, he
employed.
bought the place. He had a little money to spare. Not much.
I didn't know it was for sale.
Every day. Just check your mail.
You know, a lot of people think you own IVM because your
Lot of
show
people,
is,
Even I do. I call up Amit and say cancel today.
Because when people ask me, where are you working? I'm like, IVM. They're like, oh, the Cyrus Brocha company. I was like, no, he's just one of the hosts.
That 70% equity really counts. All right. Okay, back with Kunal Vijayakar, who's got a new show called 100 Ways to See India. What's the actual
A century of stories.
A century of stories.
Right.
Brought to you by... Shall I say the sponsor's name?
It's your first foray into the audio. Well, it's not really audio anymore. It's a video.
It is very much on video as well.
But I'm saying technically in our mind...
Abhineet here doesn't sleep. He keeps editing the episodes all night.
Yeah. He's very hardworking twice a month. And we've got a very strong staff. We should show them respect. We only insult them all the time. I mean, I'm so fond of Rishi now that he's wearing neither shorts nor pants. Somewhere in the middle. Who wears pants that end somewhere between your knee and your shin? You know.
And he's wearing Crocs.
Yeah. He's wearing one croc. This is cheap chindi guy. He wants to save money. Goes on one leg and comes into the office. But he had a great break because he comes poor chap all the way from Panvel.
Yeah.
See, and
when he heard your name,
else.
he's so Marathi thing.
What does Marathi thing mean?
He
was another controversy.
He saw the Vijayakar surname. He said, I'll come and work for him. When he sees other surname, he doesn't come.
Brocha doesn't work.
Brocha is okay because I'm such a chute that he doesn't care. But there are others. There are others he targets.
Okay, let's discuss. So which surnames does he not like?
North Indian.
like that.
like Sparsh. Sparsh has 7 names, no? Sparsh, Sikandar, Shweta.
What is Sparsh's surname?
Shikhar.
Yeah. It's not even his surname.
The peak.
It's not his surname.
Shikhar is the top, right? Yeah.
And Shikhar lists.
Sparsh Shikhar.
Yeah. So when
That's what he goes
when
by.
he takes off his bra, it's Shikhar lists. Nothing on. Top. He's great that way. Okay. This is you've seen our podcast, so you don't expect much more, right? The first half was scintillating, almost good conversation. But this is...
And the amount of times you're talking about me on your podcast, because I put on Sanjay Jha. He's writing a book about
No, these are people who know you.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to do.
People, I'm talking about, forget that. They know you, so they mention you. That's fine. I'm talking about when we just have a normal conversation, it comes from the people asking questions and all that. Yeah. So you're like a ghost in the background. Yeah. And you can't even insult you anymore.
And I don't get paid for this show, but...
I don't think so.
Some contribution I should get, no?
That's your third joke, right?
Cock and bull.
Third joke. I didn't get it immediately, but now I'm getting it. This is the best joke so far, yeah.
But what about Sanjay Jha?
Even in Sanjay Jha's conversation, suddenly my name appeared.
Yeah.
And then you spend
it's a drinking game, no?
Sanjay's sister's name is Kabutar.
What? I didn't get it.
Ja.
Oh, acha. Okay. He's never
This is
coming
the
back on this
standard.
show.
Resign?
About stand up, no?
We make people stand up and leave. That's the whole idea of the show. Right, before we go to the AMAs, Kunal, let's talk a little bit about your life. What happened to the show? Week that wasn't. It was a 17-year run, and we have discussed it and all. Basically, it's your fault the show's off the air, apparently.
Is it my fault?
That's what I've been telling everyone.
Cyrus, you never attended any meeting. That's why this show went
Well,
nowhere.
also, your leaders didn't attend any meetings. Only you went for the meeting.
That's true.
That's why I stopped going for the meetings. Every time they called a meeting,
But
they
we will
cancelled.
come back in a new avatar.
You promise, no?
I promise.
So Abbas also wants a job.
We are-
Yeah.
IVM is going nowhere.
See, Gopal Dutt is getting really big, so there's going to be a vacancy soon. I'm ready to fill
No,
that.
Gopal, the good thing about Gopal is as big as he gets, he's superstitious about our show.
Oh, really?
He wants to come in because he feels, even though right now the show's not there, he's most worried. He keeps calling to say, can we do something? I think he'll buy the show just to keep it on. We want him to get bigger and bigger. He's so sweet. You know, for no money, he will come.
Literally for no money.
He will come, he's on the way, let's say shooting in somewhere north, somewhere in Uttarakhand. He comes all the way back, he does the shoot, he spends a couple of days here, he just does that 2-3 hours with us and goes all the way back again.
Also, you
He
have to
organizes
understand that Gopal is not a morning person.
Yeah.
So he's waking up in the morning to be in the studio by 9 o'clock on a day that he's not working.
Yeah, you can't
Which
call
is
him.
big for him.
He comes to enjoy. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
difficult. There's a teleprompter, all the roles he can play in his sleep. It's fun.
Right.
It's fun. It's not the tension we have doing the podcast. Very fun group, yeah.
And what about our producer friend? I forgot his name. Mohit Mahale.
Mohit
yeah.
Mahale. Yeah, so now Mohit's problem is that the studio was small and he
He
became
wouldn't
too
fit
big. He couldn't get in. It was just expanded too much, too quickly. So Mohit has gone on to other things. Everything now, the show, I think they sort of knew the show was, in trouble in the last few months because there's no support from corporate. Corporate really let us down. My book will reveal everything.
Okay.
The worst
Your fifth
management
book.
that I've ever had in 23, 24 years. 26 years.
You're writing a tell-all book.
Yeah. I've done 3 pages, then I started doing pictures.
That might actually sell.
Yeah.
Do it as a coffee table book.
But for no reason, they're naked girls. I don't know why. I just thought maybe. And the story is about someone dying,
Wait, is that why the show is went off?
I think so, yeah. 15 minutes was just me in a bikini. No jokes about Kunal as a woman was, there's a limit. The government passed an ordinance saying no more. 2 years banned from him wearing saris. Yeah. All right, so that's the week that wasn't. But now we have what is called AMAs. I know you've got a very important meeting to go to, so we have about 20 minutes roughly to deal with. Let's see. These are questions that we've not orchestrated. People have written.
Yeah, I just got them like 5 minutes before.
I wrote them.
We were writing in the car, in the bus.
No,
in
I
the
wrote
train.
them. He got them.
Spurs sent them to me. Okay, the first
Spurs is
question.
outside sending them.
First question comes from Riz. They ask, will Kunal ever get into the Big Boss house as a contestant? If yes,
But he's been asked many
what
times.
will be the minimum payment requirement? Also, how does he feel about Cyrus having more Insta followers than him?
How it feels about
Three
don't-
questions.
I don't have more
would
Insta
you,
followers.
Would you go to Big Boss?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay, I can answer that.
Yeah.
He can never go to Big Boss.
Why?
It'll be very difficult for him. I'll tell you honestly, it's not going to be easy at all because you have to share a bathroom. Okay, you got to sleep with all these people in one room. You have to get up at a certain time, sleep at a certain time, and the food is not, unless they really mollycoddle him food-wise, he's going to really suffer. Okay, we are very spoiled.
This will surprise you. But food, while it was paramount for Cyrus when he was in there, I'm not that fussy about my food. Because I've eaten just too much food in my life.
Right.
I can do without meals. I can eat less. I can even eat vegetarian food now. I've sort of trained myself to. But the other things I would have a big problem with not being able
No, and all
to
the
have
tasks.
a room.
See, in the end,
completely in
I
darkness.
shouldn't talk about it, but one or two of the senior people didn't do any of the tasks. They found ways to get them out of it. So it becomes a little ridiculous also because they're physically difficult.
Right.
All that. So I'm just thinking, I don't know. For maybe a short while he can go and hopefully stomach it. But I would say it's a difficult thing. So
But
they
you
have to pay him a hell of a lot. But 10 years back, he could have happily gone. Like he said, he would have adapted better to food and all that. He also doesn't eat that much physically. He's not a small eater, but he's a normal eater. So I think for people like me, people who eat a little extra, we need to be
I've
fed.
just started becoming a little more careful about food as I grow older. But
He doesn't
I
fit into
wouldn't
the
be
same.
able to.
His bras and panties are not.
And-
I mean,
Okay.
we can't hook him at the back here.
Spurs is also wearing
I think
a
when we
bra.
shoot
Everybody's
a show,
wearing a bra.
But when we shoot a show, he wears that. And then you think it's funny, Abbas? I showed my mother. The one day, I'm holding one hand, a bodybuilder Mohit is holding the other. We're trying to put the hooks of a bra on him, and we can't reach. And then the only woman in the room is saying in her thick Bengali accent, "What you're doing? It'll burst." And it literally burst.
When you decide to stuff the bra with 2 footballs, this
Right.
is what happens.
See, while he had the
Okay.
width of the bust, he didn't have the actual important cheese.
Okay, next question.
But people asking questions, I can't leave them like that.
How do you feel about having more Insta followers than Cyrus? Cyrus is saying he
I think
does.
Cyrus has
don't.
more Insta followers than me.
Okay, let's check right now.
No, he has more.
No. Jump with Big Boss.
Why are we wasting time?
Arre,
You
let me
answer
check.
that-
No,
You have to hold on while you check.
Kunal has 113,000 followers on Instagram,
Cyrus has more.
and
Oh God, what a bore.
I think so at least.
you have 167,000. So yeah, you do have more.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the point of the question?
There was no point. The next question comes from RA. Those are the initials. Favorite food joints from Mumbai that you wish were still open?
Hey, you can't ask him this question. You'll get it.
Mine are.
But still open, okay.
the
Chalo,
person
still open
says
is okay. Fair.
Theirs was Bembo's in Bandra and Crepe Station at Juhu.
But that is recent, bossy.
Paradise.
Paradise. But
at
this
Colaba.
will be a South Bombay answer, more or
Sure,
less.
sure,
Okay.
yeah.
Huh.
Paradise at Colaba.
I agree. Chicken roll, Zindabad, because of the mayonnaise.
One of
One ingredient.
One of the restaurant I missed one of the most because of the
Nanking,
Nanking and Camling also.
Camling. Also, where we used to go, what is the one we used? Mandarin.
Mandarin.
Actually, Mandarin is the one where we used to go.
Where we used to
Yeah,
go
that's
most
what
often. Yes, Mandarin at Colaba.
What else? What about that whole
Thank you.
waiter out of the frame?
Thank
Waiter.
you.
Laluram.
Again he's leaving. Arre.
Laluram. Out of the frame. Bro.
Yes.
What about that whole where Gaylords is? That strip?
So, but they have, we were very, so Gourdon, which was there.
Gourdon.
Gaylord has been there since, for the last 65
That's where I met him.
years.
Gaylord.
65 years.
Oh.
Then on the
You
across
can
the
laugh.
I'm
That
like,
joke's
that-
also
that's the
laughable.
most
But
obvious
don't do
joke.
that, Abbas. Then why are you laughing? See, my point is that the comedy is working. You can't fucking
They're
intellectualize
renovating, by
everything.
the way. I recently went to
Huh?
Gaylord.
Which
yeah.
part? The gay or the Lord?
Both of them.
Yeah, but Gaylord was iconic because
It is-
Best
Yeah.
part of chicken. We both love. We
But
love
it still
Gaylord.
is good. The lobster thermidor is to die for.
yeah.
And the chicken a la Kiev, which is also called chicken bomb, which means a deep fried chicken. You cut it and butter just oozes out of it.
And for our vegetarian followers, later.
The palak paneer with lasuni palak is very nice.
Okay.
Okay.
What other place? Kulaba, anything? I can't remember offhand.
Kulaba.
Baikala will definitely have a couple.
No,
that
but
will
they're
go on.
still open.
Yeah, they're
Things
still
have been
around.
shut down, you know.
By the way, we are huge fans of Baikala, Muhammad Ali Road. I hope those restaurants stay the way.
One of my favorite Khane Mein Kya episodes was when you went to Sarvi. I think
Oh,
that was
Sarvi! Everybody stand for respect.
Oh, Sarvi
Oh my
Sikhs,
God.
man.
What kebabs, brother. What
I
do
didn't know.
say?
I discovered. So we'd only ate the Sikhs from Sarvi, but
Right.
we didn't eat the other food because it was okay.
The brain is damn good.
The pizza is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And again,
Second-
for vegetarians,
Second only to Olympia.
we'll call you.
right.
Phone karta hai.
And they do an Aab Ghosh. And there's a little story which
stopped
is very
listening.
interesting, okay?
No,
it's
I'm
very
listening,
close
Baba.
to JJ Hospital.
Yeah.
Okay?
So you can, after stomach upset, you go there.
So, no. So the paya in the
Yeah.
old days, because that restaurant is over 100 years old.
Right.
So they used to actually, the hospital used to order paya to feed the patients because it was strength giving
Right.
for bones and all.
And for vegetarians.
Vegetarians, there used to be one dish called vegetable.
He comes here to lose followers. That's the whole idea. How do I lose followers? Come to our show.
Guy Fox has asked, what gift did you get Cyrus for his birthday a few days ago?
Nothing.
Nothing. Cyrus tried to con me into buying dinner, but he landed up
No, I
paying
never
for
conned you. That's unfair.
expensive
I purposely
meal,
told
poor
Mikhail,
fellow.
I even told him that we will pay for dinner. Don't make Kunal pay by all this and all. I
Once
told
a
him.
year at least.
Yeah. But in the old days, he used to buy things. I don't ask me what and all. But he has bought presents.
I
He's
used
a
to buy
present
presents, but
guy.
Cyrus lost interest.
He
in
buys for the
presents.
kids and all. Yeah, I'm not a gracious person. My mother still buys bloody fucking shirts and all which I don't wear, and I have to say thank you. My aunt sends underwear which I don't even look at. I mean, they just buy. I mean, it's just painful. Luckily, my wife Kunal, they don't buy anything. My wife forgot to wish also.
Really?
Yeah. She wished
Purposely.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay, the next one comes from Samir. What's the secret of a friendship that lasts so long and across different phases of life? I will allow one joke answer from Cyrus, but need a serious one from Kunal.
See, the relationship is such that as Kunal's health deteriorated, it's easy to be his friend. He doesn't remember anything, he repeats everything. So for me, I don't have any problem. I can fool him into anything which he can't remember. This is what we did. But you already gone there. Oh, okay. Done. So it's a good relationship to have. It's like just an aging, Mofussil or unit or, that's out of control. So, and I think both of us are very forgiving by nature. So we fight a lot, but both of us have easy, what's the word? Where we,
Camaraderie.
No, we don't have grudge. I'm not a grudgy guy. I have very few good points. One of the good points, I'm not a grudgy guy. Like I abuse Sparsh every day, but I don't hold it against him. He doesn't talk for 10 days.
He holds it against you, but
Fucking petty guy. इसका भेजा इतना कम है. इसका भेजा नहीं मिलेगा सार्वी में. मिलेगा? नहीं मिलेगा. सार्वी में कभी नहीं मिलेगा. स्पर्श का भेजा.
Kunal, you want to answer that?
look, it started off with things that we had in common and like to do together.
Like shag.
Not together. And then it just got into a comfort zone where you get used to people being around, you know.
Right.
Used to him, I get used to him, he gets used to me. And then it just goes on and on and on. Then his family came into the picture, his children, which I think in a way strengthened the
But I'll tell you,
relationship.
not to glamorize alcohol because it's such a horrible thing unless they sponsor the show, in which case it's better. Our drinking stories will be tough to beat. Our partnership as drinkers across, and especially the good ones, the bad ones I won't get into because there are quite a few of those also, but our good ones will be hard to beat. And good ones means from our perspective, I'm not saying they're good.
No, and
So many
we
years
were
of
iconic. Within the sort of group of people that we socialized with, iconic.
From
The
1990,
partnership, the drinking was iconic.
1990 till 2015. That's a lot of time, no? Yeah, that's as long as BJP will rule India.
And I have the liver to prove it.
Yeah. Or more liver to prove it because it swells up.
Fatty.
Yeah.
I briefly worked with, what is his name? Omkar, I think, who was part of your MTV.
Yeah, Omkar, the writer.
Yeah, Omkar Sane.
Sane,
Yeah, and
yeah.
he also used to narrate some legendary drinking stories.
They may have
from those
come.
days.
We used to take some of the MTV boys out here. And most of them, like Ajit Ahuja was a big hoax. Didn't drink
So
as much
the
as I
early
thought.
MTV days, and I met Natasha Malhotra
Vikram
the other day,
Sate,
who used to be the
Vaibhav Vishal, all drank with us, but
Vikram Sate was also with MTV.
Yeah.
decent drinker, but never fell. He would recall what happened the next day.
See, Natasha Malhotra, who used to be executive producer
Good
for
drinker.
years, I met her.
She was a good
4 days ago, and I was reminiscing about the parties that M3V threw.
M3V, no, MTV.
I know, slip of the tongue.
No, not slip of the tongue.
MTV threw.
Your medication.
Okay.
Take your medication on time.
So free party with free booze, and Cyrus at his peak was sort of what is it?
They would keep a minder for me after some time. There would be one person who doesn't drink who's just with me. Just to stop anything really bad happening.
Are there videos of these parties? Somewhere lying around on some videotape.
I wouldn't be taking them.
I don't think there were phones. There were
Abbas,
mobile
video-
At that
phones,
point, I'd be
cameras.
chasing your girlfriend. That's what would be happening. Okay?
So that has also happened. Being slapped around by somebody. Lots of shit has happened. I remember one library bar, one fellow had slapped me. And I was stumbled out of the bar. And then Cyrus said, "Why did he slap you?" I said, "I have no idea why he slapped me." So we went back inside. Remember this?
Yeah, but we got beaten up, no?
Yeah.
We
Library
had-
bar.
the thing is that I did all the fighting from what I'm told, and but he had these marks on his face, and he was trying to stop it. And then, of course, the Bombay Times editor called at 3 a.m, and my wife and mother spoke to him, and so they didn't put it in the papers, so those would have been in more trouble. But I don't know what happened. But what basically happened, from what we gather later, is that I was trying to ask one of their girls to dance or whatever. And so completely the perpetrator was me.
Dance may not be the word.
And Kunal was innocent. He was only trying to stop things. And for some reason they hit him first. And then of course it escalated. Yeah.
Bombay Times editor was who? Bachchi?
Ayaz.
Oh.
Ayaz Bachchi
Ayaz,
apne log.
Malvika Saab.
Because Ayaz had a drink in his hand while taking the phone. What's Brochure doing?
From the
Tell
same
him to calm down. I'm putting it out of the paper. Tell him to calm down.
But the editor was not them at that point of time.
Sorry?
The editor was not them. The editor was Gauri.
No. This was Ayaz.
Was it no?
Aisha spoke to Ayaz. I remember this whole thing clearly.
Was Aisha around then?
Now, Gauri was friendly then anyways. It wouldn't have made a difference.
Aisha was around, still you were asking other women to dance with you. Okay, moving on.
Just for practice. To go home and show her how I dance.
Okay, this one comes from Shreyas. It's an interesting question. Describe each other as a food item.
Jalebi. Or gulab jamun. You're
Why jalebi?
jolly,
Why
na,
gulab
that
jamun?
roundish cutlet. Maybe he loves cutlets, by the way. But the Indian cutlet is so thin. Na? One of the cutlets in my house, big round one.
Lucky biryani, cutlet, but
Yeah.
very nice.
You like them thick and rough.
Yeah, I like them thick and rough. A thin cutlet is like an offense. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like then it becomes one of those tikkas or something. And they should have rules. Size is important for cutlet.
Cyrus is the only food item that reminds me of Cyrus is boiled eggs. Because he eats too many, so it sort of colors my mind, you know. So I just see him as a person full of 18
Problem is that I become so more like carnivorous with my older age than I've ever been. He's actually mellowed in now. He's become like a bear, omnivorous.
No, I'll tell you.
He eats
I
everything.
actually see you eat a lot of vegetarian food on your show.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Okay,
That he has to do because he's presenting
I
a show.
seriously believe that his family and my family cooked very bad vegetarian food at home. Okay, because of the communities we come from.
Right.
I don't cook any vegetarian food.
But when I eat in a Gujarati household, if I eat to somebody who's predominantly vegetarian, even good Maharashtrian vegetarian food, it is tasty. We never grew up eating that food. We opted eventually, the cabbage tastes terrible, let's eat the keema, So it's always like that. But I'm sure, like if you got a good taste for potatoes and masala potatoes and that kind of stuff, you'd probably get for French beans also, Cyrus.
See, he's boring by nature. I just count to 10 and then I just talk. Otherwise, it's painful. It's not easy, yaar. The last few years have been very painful carrying this man everywhere we go socially, having to start the conversation so that nobody leaves. It's very painful. But coming back to the show before we end.
Okay, the last question comes from Shweta. She's asked you, Cyrus, please mention 3 good or positive things about Kunal, and please don't say he pays for or brings over good food.
Kunal is
It's legendary. Everybody knows about me.
because somebody's talking. Kunal is amazingly nice to people he likes. Like he does everything for them. He's warm, generous, like my family, Bowman's family, those kind of people he likes. Even people he likes who he works with. They don't have to be, very strong relations, but as long as he likes them, he's very nice. But I would never see him as a leader of people.
Well, why do you have to
He doesn't care.
add that?
He doesn't care. Because, when we're driving and, there are 10 slum dwellers on the pavement, like I've told you a few times before, and he looks at them because they're in his way and he has to turn the steering wheel, Abbas. He says, Brocha, if I kill them, would I make their lives better? There's no statesman quality. But if he liked one of them, he would have driven carefully, right? No? So you can see the difference. Dil to hai. But dil to hai for certain group of people.
2 inaccuracies. One, I
It's
never
like
said
Adolf
this.
Hitler.
And 2 is, there are enough statesmen who would have done that also.
Adolf Hitler loved dogs. So it's like you can find that everybody, it's the compassion is there. So that's all I'm saying.
That's still one good thing. 2 more.
2 more. He's impatient like me.
How is that a good thing?
It's great because India is just too patient.
No, we have to learn to work fast.
We have to learn.
I
mean, you came 10 minutes late for the fucking show, you fat bastard. I mean, I can't take it anymore as I age. I'm the kind of guy, I'm going to start killing people now. I can't, from the moment I enter the gym till the time I go to sleep, I'm just asking people, where are you?
See,
where are you?
I'll tell you,
So one thing is we are punctual and we are very impatient.
But shooting things, if you're working with a larger group, has now you have to accept that it's a waiting game.
Right.
You just wait.
Or you shoot them.
Yeah.
And then the next group will be on
the
time.
The only way to not get anxious is to accept it. I have accepted it. I take things along with me. I take my iPad along. I take 2 books with me. Something I'll...
2 books? He has read 1 book in his lifetime. Or was it 2 books for?
But it's
to
still
balance
with
the
me.
first book.
It's still with me. I'm still reading it.
Third thing, there's never a shortage of food in my house because of him. He's got a successful...
No, food is not allowed. She said that don't mention that he brings good
But that's
food.
a very important part of who
But
Kunal is.
other than that.
If Kunal calls up, I only ask him, what are you bringing? Ask him. That's the only question I ask him.
That's
Kunal,
if he answers the phone, huh?
That's where khane mein kya hai comes from.
Yeah, well, something like that. Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah. What other good qualities does he have? He's very good with my kids, but not good with kids in general. But he's very good with babies, which I hate. So babies he can hold and all that. I find babies
For a little while. Huh? Somebody else.
like a 6-month-old baby, who doesn't know how to talk. I can't bear those. I'd rather have a football to hold. But he's happy holding the baby and he makes faces.
The first time you saw your children was when they were able to talk.
Yeah. Till 7 I kept them in a cage.
Till 7 I took care of them.
Yeah. Right. In the cage. All 3. No, he's got lots of good qualities. Let's not be unfair. He's got good qualities. But he's an irritating man also, and he keeps telling me the same story again and again. He's like that aging uncle. Every day I hear another
I've
story.
become a
which
little
he's told me the day
forgetful as
before.
I grow older. That's all. That's
Very
the
forgetful.
Same story. And I have only 5 stories. No? So then what to do? They just
it's-
keep coming back.
As you can tell from the podcast. Oh, the damn thing all over again.
That's all the questions we have.
That's it. In fact, we're running out of time because he's got a huge meeting with Rahul, with Amit, with Mr. Shinde. So we have to let him go. But I'd like to plug his show first. And in fact, I was going to do it as a professional, but for some reason, some idiot had to interrupt me in the middle and kill my flow. 42 years of being a freaking anchor, one knows that that's the whole idea of the show, is to promote your fucking new show. So, Abbas, let's promote the new show, which is called A Century in Waiting.
A Century of Stories. You must have seen the promo. The channel is live now. Go and subscribe to the channel. It's called A Century of Stories.
Very good. You just about made it without a teleprompter.
It's brought to you by IDFC First.
IDFC First, 100 stories.
100, no, A Century of Stories.
A Century of Stories. Kunal Vijayakar is the main guy behind the show. Oh God. How much can I lie, Abbas? 52. 52 and I'm still telling lies here. It's unbelievable. Kunal, I wish I could say
52 or
thank you.
53?
I thought you were in a hurry. Oh, I'm 52, don't worry. 60. Aren't you in a hurry?
Karan, you're younger than Karan Johar. Karan Johar is 53.
No, he's 52. We're same age. He's
Really?
in fact October born, if I remember correct. Same batch. We went Xavier's for 3 days together.
What happened on the fourth day?
I stayed. You have to ask him why he left.
I thought he went to HR.
He did. He didn't
Yeah.
have a good time in Xavier. Somebody
Okay.
ragged him and all. Something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
He was fine in the class. Nobody bothered him in our class. But there's also seniors.
No, he's written something in his biography about this. I can't remember.
They did rag
exactly
all of
what,
us.
but-
I had to swim on the floor. But some people got ragged more. And the thing is, after they rag you, they sort of accept you. So it's okay. I don't know. I'm not saying ragging is good. But I think in his case, it went a little far. Or,
Okay.
yeah. So he took revenge by making films. Those guys had to
His
watch.
latest one is not bad. Anyway.
Kunal,
Bye-bye.
thank you so much.
Pleasure, Kabir.
Now in the
He's
words
already
of...
texting the person he's meeting. I'm on my way.
Now in the words of... yeah, exactly. George Bernard Shaw, kindly
much
fuck
time.
off.
I am fucking off, Baba. Chalo, let's go.
IVM.